When the rye hits your eye like a big piece of rye, that's a whiskey. When you're drunk on the rye 'cause you drank some rye, that's a whiskey. All right. Hello, everyone. How are you now? My name is Ed. I am not joined by anyone tonight except Mr. Scabies. Mr. Scabies is here because Mr. Scabies loves me, even if no one else does. I see Wheels and Nathan Clark are already in the chat. Good to see you guys. This is a rye night, so Erica did not want to come by. She didn't actually have to drink rye. I'm gonna be talking about my favorite ryes. No one was gonna put a gun to her head and make her drink rye, but she didn't feel like being on stream, so you stuck with me, just me. But hopefully that's enough. Before we get started, though, little housekeeping. YouTube is really messed up right now, and I'm not sure why. I've heard from a few people that they're not getting notifications for streams and videos and other such stuff when we post content, or also they're getting the notifications a day up to 2 days late. So yeah, if that's happening to you, real sorry about that. I don't know why. YouTube's been doing a lot of weird stuff lately. I've also noticed it with some of their other stuff. There's some janky bugs in the uploading things. But yeah, just make sure you hit the bell. Make sure you hit the bell for all uploads. And if it doesn't work, I'm sorry. Blame YouTube. Go yell at Google for me. Hey, Sir Tannen, how you doing? Nathan Clark is saying he hasn't gotten to see the Old Forester Rye review yet. Yeah, actually, we did two Old Forester Rye reviews. I did one, and then we did the one this morning with Erica. That was kind of a re-review to see if she would like it. So yeah, Jeremy Sims, my good buddy from over there on Cast Strength, and Donald Rance, Irish Whiskey Yoda. Good to see you. So right now, what is everyone drinking? Because I am drinking a small blend of different ryes. This is a small blend of different ryes. I had a really hard time narrowing down this list. And so right before this video went live, I was trying a bunch of different ryes. And I mixed them all together. I mixed all these different ryes together. So that's what I'm drinking right now. But I'm going to tell you exactly what is all on the list. I'm going to tell you right now, my honorable mentions are almost as long as my actual top 10. This was a really, really hard decision for me, you guys. I had a really hard time narrowing this down because I love rye so much. I'm a big rye guy. Sir Tannen's on the Glenfiddich Special Reserve 12 year. Very good. We do love some Glenfiddich on this show. Well, there it is. Donald is doing tea right now. He's going to do some Mott 40 later on. That may show up. And then, oh, Nathan Clark's asking about the Johnny Walker Rye Cask release. I have not had that one. I've been meaning to try it. I see there is a bottle at my local liquor store, but I haven't been buying liquor lately. I've just not been going out and doing stuff because, you know, not trying to go out into the world right now. Hey, Brad LeClaire, Bradigan LeCladigan, as he's known in these parts. Okay, before we get to the list, though, there's a couple of things in whiskey news I want to talk about. So first off, a couple of new releases that I'm interested in. One I'm not as interested in as the other, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So one of the new releases is this Buffalo Trace. This is from the Experimental series. So this is their 12-year-old wheated bourbon, right? It's bourbon, so I don't care that much. But the interesting part about this one is that they aged it 4 years in the barrel. And the regular entry proof, which I believe is 62.5 for them, I think they put it in as high as it can go because I know their white dog comes out at 62.5. If I'm incorrect about that and they water it down, please let me know. I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But the cool thing with this one, I don't know if you can see it on there. It's a little blurry. But what they did here is they actually cut it with water 4 years into the maturation process, cut it down to 50%, put it, and then straight back into a new barrel. I assume they had to be a new barrel, or maybe they just put the water into the barrel at the same time. I don't know. So you're actually cutting it while it's in the barrel. Something similar to what Iron Root does down in Texas, which I think is a really cool thing to do. One, you're going to get a different flavor from that lower proof. Hey, Emily Chamber made it. Yay! Oh, Nathan Clark's doing some High West. Very good. Vito saying, I would super chat you a belated birthday wish, but you're lagging a bit. So next time I see you, I'll throw a toonie at your hairless chest. Wonderful. Nathan Clark, no, it is double barreled. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, but that's fun. That's fun. That's similar to what Ironwood's doing, where they're taking it down over time. You're going to get different flavors based on that water. The water is going to age along with the whiskey. So rather than proofing it once it gets out of the barrel, they do proof it after it gets out of the barrel. In this case, they take it down to 45. But that water is going to age. It's going to draw out different congeners, sweeter congeners from the wood. So that'll be fun. Hey, Mash and Drum. How you doing, buddy? In other news, the other news I really want to talk about. Hey, Andrew Sproul, DJ Beacon, good to see you guys too. Thank you all for stopping by. The other release that I'm excited for. So this next one's coming out in May. Yeah, this is New Riff Backsetter. Oh, I'm super excited for this one. Less so, I'm more so for this one, less so for, where is it? I don't care that much about this one right here. But this guy, this guy, yeah, look at that. So this one is crazy. It's a straight rye whiskey. They took backset from a peated malt run, and they put that peated backset into the new mash. This is gonna, I don't know what that's gonna taste like. I don't know how that's gonna come out. I am so excited to try that. That's coming out, I believe, should be coming out right around now, May-ish. But it's only got like 2,000 bottles, and it's only coming out California, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, and the District of Columbia. So my ass is gonna have to drive down to Chicago and grab some of that. I mean, I'm super excited. I don't know exactly what's going to come out, but yeah. Oh, Nathan Clark is asking what backset is. Okay, so when you do a sour mash, right? Like you see most bourbon and most rye in this country is made with a sour mash. So really, it means something different in brewing. Like sour mash and brewing is a different thing. But in whiskey making, that means you're taking stuff left over from the still, right? You run all your stuff through the still, and the water and the grain congeners that are left over in the still, that's your backset. So you take that, you add it to the next mash. And so that's very acidic. So it kills all the germs that may be coming up in your fermentation, keeps it nice and clean, and makes for a nice consistent fermentation. So yeah, sour mash in brewing is a different thing. I don't know exactly what they mean there. I think that literally just refers to the flavor. In whiskey, though, sour mash does not mean it tastes sour. It's like sourdough bread. You used a little bit of your last distillation in the next one. So yeah. And then one other news item I wanted to talk about. This is not a new release, but I thought it was super exciting. So the Kentucky Derby's been delayed. First time since 1945 in the midst of World War II. And so Old Forester is going to have a turtle derby. Oh my God. This is so fantastic. I'm not actually sure where they're broadcasting this. I hope it's on YouTube or some kind of live stream. Look at them. They're so cute. Little turtles. The little bitty turtles are coming out of the shell. And so they're going to have that derby to replace the Kentucky Derby, which has been delayed because of the pandemic. But what's funny is this is the second time they've done this. They actually did the original Turtle Derby was done during World War II. So this is a return to tradition for Old Forester. It's going to be a very, very slow derby. But yeah, I think that's fantastic. I think that's going to be so cute. So cute. So, all right. We got the news out of the way. We talked about some fun stuff happening in the whiskey world. Let's get down to the reason we're actually here, which is talking about my favorite ryes. This list was so hard for me to come up with, you guys. It was like rating my children. And I was saying earlier that my honorable mentions are nearly as long as my actual top 10, which just goes to show you how much I love rye. Now, to be fair, this list is not based on availability or price necessarily. So there's going to be a lot of craft stuff. There's going to be a lot of local stuff mixed in with some more widely available things. And this is very much attuned to my personal rye love, which if you watch this channel, you know I really love ryes that kick your teeth in. Okay? So, Nathan Clark saying the turtles will be named 86, 100, rye, 1910, 1920, 1870, 1897, and birthday. Aw. Emily's saying, are they ninjas? That would be so cute. Oh my God, they could put the little bandanas on them and they could give them the little weapons. Yeah, that'd be amazing. Okay, but here's the thing. When you're watching this, and if you're watching this after the fact, please feel free to tell me I'm wrong or tell me I'm crazy or to just give me crap or suggest other ryes I may have forgotten. So yeah, feel free. Let's talk about my honorable mentions real quick. And I don't have like graphics for these, but I just want to run through it really quick. Whistle Pig, Farm Stock, Crop 2. That was close to the list. It didn't quite make it. Willet Rye, up until a little while ago, Willet Rye would have been right up in the top with a lot of other ones. But it didn't quite make it. The taste is wonderful. The nose is a little too acetone, so didn't quite make it. But it was close. Old Forester Rye, we just did a review on that. Go check it out. Old Overholt, pretty much any old Overholt. It's a great value. Bottled and Bond in particular. What is it? The Lockstock Ryes. Those are good. They're too aged for me. So if you love those, I get it. They're great whiskeys. Too much wood influence, not enough rye grain. Menominee Valley Rye, Cody Road Rye, and Old Potrero. Old Potrero was close to making it in, but little too smooth and easygoing. I want something to punch me. Except in the case of our number 10, which doesn't quite fit into that category. Number 10 is Angel's Envy Finished Rye. This is the rye whiskey finished in Caribbean rum casks. I'm going to be honest with you here. I think a lot of people may be surprised about that one. I know I got some flack for it when I said I really loved it in our video. When we did the review of it, because this is just about the sweetest rye on the market. It's ridiculously, incredibly sweet. But I'm a sucker for a rum finish. I really am. I really am. DJ Beacon says you need to bet the ranch on Donatello. Oh, I did love Donatello. Mikey was cute too. But yeah, that one, it is like drinking cake. And usually I would hate that. Usually I would hate drinking sweet stuff, but it's not like syrupy. It's not that syrupy, cloyingly, over-the-top, artificial flavor. It's, Greg T. Stack says maple syrup. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would say like maple syrup, devil food cake, with like cinnamony, spicy bristle, like I don't know, Cinnabon. It's almost like drinking Cinnabon, which is fantastic. Brad LeClaire says rum finishes can be good, but really need some peat to balance the sweetness. That is generally true. I think that's why Angel's Envy did a good job. That rye was pretty spicy. Those cinnamon notes came through, mixed pretty well, and it didn't come off cloyingly sweet. So that's one that's a little weird. For you, that's an outlier in this list. I'll say that right now. Jason's asking, have I ever had the Boosh Polish rye from Crowded Barrel? I have not. I've not had that one. Nathan is saying, Angel's Envy rye is like a beautiful Southern belle who lives with her grandmother from Barbados. That's actually a pretty good analogy. Yeah. Yeah, it very much is. It very much is. And it's quite good. Okay. Vito's saying he wasn't a fan of Angel's Envy by halfway through the bottle. Oh, were you talking about the bourbon or the rye? Because I know you were saying the bourbon changes dramatically over time. All right. Let's talk about number 9. My number 9 rye whiskey was, or is currently, Midwinter Night's Dram. This is the one from High West. It's the blend of straight rye whiskeys finished in port. Now, I'm going to have a caveat on this one. I'm also trying to do, if I keep this in mind too, I'm also trying to not repeat stuff from distilleries. So there may be other expressions from, say, High West that are very, very good, but I'm trying not to do multiple stuff from, one distillery. I'm trying to keep it a little bit separate. So one expression, if I like this expression from a distillery, there's a good chance I like their other ones too. So yeah. But Midwinter, this one, I'm specifically going to say Act 7. Act 7 is awesome. And actually I have some right here. Why don't we break out a little bit of that out as long as we're chatting about it. My problem, I've had previous acts. Nathan Clark is saying the CPK tastes like Manhattan. Nice. That's another episode we're going to do. We're talking about we're going to do another Manhattan episode because I love me in Manhattan. If you've had the Midwinter Night's Dram, let me know. Do you guys think there's a pretty good difference between acts? Because for me, I had previous acts of Midwinter, and the port was just over the top. Like the port was that really overly musty, funky, weird port, and it just completely ate up the rye. I don't know if I'm crazy, but that was my impression. And that's why I liked Act 7 so much. Act 7 is the perfect mix of red fruit and rye grain. It's spicy. It's got some pepper. It's got that nice kick with a little bit of some bready kind of rye bread, not quite pickle. No, pickle. It's in there. There's pickle. I really like this one. Don Holland. Oh, Alberta Premium Cask Strength. I've heard it's excellent. I've heard it's fantastic. I haven't gotten a chance to try it. Same with Lot 40 Cask Strength, which I'm incredibly disappointed about. Y'all Canadians got to start sending me some good stuff, okay? Nathan Clark is saying most people think Act 7 is the weakest because of the stronger rye character. I think they're wrong. I think they're crazy. adore this. This is the perfect balance for me. If they went any heavier on this port finish, I don't think I would care for it as much. Yeah, this is lovely. This is really lovely. I'll be interested to see what happens with next year with Act 8. If they go back to that really saccharine, over-the-top port flavor, I don't think that's going to be my jam. If they continue with something similar, I'm gonna be all over that. Dan is saying, "Oh, there's L40 Cask Strength Alberta Cask waiting for me." Thank you. Yeah, I should come pay a visit after all the quarantine is over. I got to do a lot more of that. I got to do more whiskey tourism. I've been falling apart. Well, especially with the quarantine, we haven't gotten to do it as much. But once this is over, I gotta get out there. So, all right, let's talk about what are we on? Number 8. Number 8 is actually kind of, we've got a couple of dark horse competitors coming in here that broke the list relatively recently. Dan Hayes is saying Canada's really stepped up our rye game in the past few years. You know, my first rye, the first 2 ryes I had were Canada, I think it was Canada Club 100% rye, which doesn't taste like rye at all. It's the smoothest rye you're ever going to find. And what was I going to say? Oh, Alberta Dark Horse. I don't know. I haven't had a Alberta Dark Horse. I have fond memories of it, though. I have fond memories of it. I don't know. Dan Hayes. Oh, you're saying it's because it's all corn? I'm talking about the 100% rye version. The one that is actually rye. It's just, I don't know how the hell they distilled it and what they did to that thing to make it taste so unrye-like. All right. And then, okay, so this one kind of came out of the blue. This was a sample recently given to me by Ben Eves from my whiskey den. New Southern Revival rye whiskey. This is from down in Charleston, South Carolina. Not a place you really expect a rye to be coming out of. But this is made with a local Abruzzi rye. It's a local type of rye that's mostly grown, I guess, in the Carolinas. And it's really good. You know, he told me it was really good, and I was like, okay, I mean, it's a Southern rye. I've never had a Southern rye before. Let's give it a try. This is kind of everything I want in a rye. This manages to have that stone fruit, the black licorice, the pickle, the pepper, some wood influence, just a little bit of sweetness, but mostly that nice dry finish. Oh, it's so good, you guys. It's so good. So good. And unfortunately, I only have the little sample I got from Ben. I've only got that little itty bitty sample. But yeah, this was one I was not expecting to love as much as I did. So yeah. Dan K saying 40 Creek from Canada. Don't see here enough, even though we border them in Maine. Yeah, the border doesn't seem to make a difference. I mean, we're very close to Canada. We don't get much of anything. Our next one. Let's talk about this. I'm curious to see what people think about this. So coming in at number 7, Dad's Hat. I haven't had the cask strength one. I would assume it's better. I mean, can't confirm one way or the other. Oh, look it. I have a bottle right here. Dad's Hat. So this is the only Pennsylvania rye that made the list, which is kind of unfortunate. I really need to start drinking more Pennsylvania rye. You like that I'm like creeping from behind the bottle? Header. I dig this stuff though. This actually is Emily Chambers, Canadian Club. Yeah, I think that's the what I meant. Not Canada Club, Canadian Club. Pretty sure that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, but this one, I love Dad's Hat for the simple reason it is crazy chocolatey. At least I think so. It's still got pepper. It's still got a lot of baking spice kind of stuff. And a little bit of the pickle. But it is super, super like dark chocolate. You don't find that with a lot of Ryes. I mean, I found that with some malts. Some older bourbons get into that kind of bitter, dark chocolate stuff. Oh, shit. Wisers. I should have put Wisers on the list. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Oh, well. All right. I'm going with the list now. We can always do this again if we need to. Not quite chocolate like Balcones. Not quite. The chocolate, Balcones chocolate for me is like, it's like that Mexican chocolate that they put peppers in. We're going to be talking about that one shortly. Don't worry. Don't worry. That one's coming up. That one's coming up. This one for me, this one, it's going to sound weird. Dark chocolate and pickle. One of my favorite snacks as a kid, actually, now that I think about it, was maple syrup put over pickles. That was one of my favorite snacks as a kid. That's kind of what this reminds me of a little bit. Yeah. Maple syrup, chocolate, pickle, some kind of like toast, like dark burned toast. Yeah, it works. It works pretty well. It's an odd taste. Oh, and that's, you know, they say one of the things that they advertise this as is that it's not lingering or heavy-handed in its finish. I think they're full of shit. I think this one sticks with you. That peppery, chocolatey-ness, this one stays in your throat. And you know I want to put this down my throat. Yeah. That's the stuff. I've been way too serious for too long, you guys. You know you came here to watch me deep throat a bottle. Come on. Yeah. Do you like when I maintain eye contact while I'm doing that? Is that your thing? Nathan Clark is saying, well said, it's spicy and drying, like you did cocoa powder challenge instead of cinnamon. Yeah, for sure. Burnt toast, I may be having a stroke. Yeah. Oh yeah, Emily, we're going to be talking about spicy chocolate in a minute. We're gonna be talking about spicy chocolate in a minute. Don't you worry. All right, next one. That's after dark content. See, when I go on after dark with the cast strength guys, I always feel like I'm the one doing the really weird shit. They're like, I get to be like, I think if I left them alone, they'd start to do weird shit. But if I show up, it's like, we'll just let that joke of a dude do some weird shit. We're not going to worry about it. Nathan, I forgot Nathan Clark. I forgot to answer your question. This is not actually labeled as Monongahela. It is not. I wouldn't be surprised if they did it similarly styled, but no. For whatever weird craft distinction makes it Monongahela, they did not fulfill that. So, yeah. All right. Next one. This one is a local fella. So this one is one of the up-and-comers. And I had a hard time deciding between this and Cody Road. I think Cody Road ended up losing out because it's a lower proof. So this took its spot on the list. Limousine Ride. So this is from Dancing Goat Distillery. This is here in Wisconsin, Cambridge, Wisconsin, down south, just south of me. I don't know why I have the graphic. I have the bottle right here. So the reason this one, as opposed to Dad's Hat, right? Dad's Hat is a very spicy. Oh, hey, Whiskey Den is here. You're not cool with a man sandwich like last week. I'm cool with the man sandwich. I need you guys to dial the man sandwich up, if anything. You guys got to bring it even more up. Because y'all pansied out and put your shirts back on. See, I'm willing to take my shirt off at any time. Oh, Patrick Fulmer is here. Hey, he bailed on Fred M. Oh, Fred M. Oh, okay, got it. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. We're going to be on at 8 o'clock on Thursdays, no matter what else is going on. So we're always happy if people want to come by, but we understand that if you can't, that's okay. There's a lot of other things going on. Yeah. So let's talk about Limousine. This is very good. So this is actually, it's not technically a rye whiskey. It's a whiskey made from a rye wash, or a rye mash, I should say, mash. But it's barrel aged with French oak staves. So they did it in a used barrel, so they can't call it a rye whiskey, which I think is a stupid rule. I understand it for bourbon. Like, I understand making sure you have a new barrel for bourbon. For rye whiskey, I think it's a bunch of bullshit. I think you should be able to make a rye whiskey in a used barrel, and not have to call it rye from a whiskey from a rye mash or whatever. Hey, how are you? Whiskey Straight Out, how's the crack? But yeah, so this one, let's take a little sip. I'm going to try not to get too pissed tonight, but I do want to talk a little bit about Limousine. So the beauty with Limousine, I think, is it really, really dials up the stone fruit flavor that you get in some Ryes. I think that French oak is really, really, really helps with that. Yeah, it comes off as this really nice tart fruitiness, very orchard fruity, like some sort of hybrid of plum, peach, and apple. You get some of that spicy tannicness from the French oak staves, which is fantastic. And that's really and I think the higher proof, this is 47% alcohol, so 80, what is that, 84 proof? No, 94 proof. It really brings out those really wonderful flavors. And that's what put it over the top on Cody. So Cody Road is another one of my favorite Ryes. This fella right here. It didn't make the list though. This is at 40%. It's got a lot of the same stuff going on as the Limousine Rye, but the problem is it doesn't do it as well. I really love Cody Road. I got nothing against Cody Road. Love it to death. Limousine does it better. It just does it better. It's got more stone fruit. It's got more spiciness. It's got more oak influence. It just, everything about it is better. Emily James is saying the cast crew got pretty crazy on my night off. That's what I'm saying. When I'm not there, they go nuts. When I'm there, apparently they just let me act the Mickey. I once used that term, act the Mickey, with my ma. She got very mad at me. She was not happy about that. Whiskey Straight Out is doing okay. Wanted to catch a little bit of live stream. Yeah, it's pretty late by you, isn't it? It's got to be almost 1 in the morning, something like that. Maybe not that late, I'm not sure. But thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Sir Tannen is saying, if it's good, it's good. Who cares what they call it? You know, I agree. But that is true for people who understand, like, the labeling, people who understand it. And I mean, that's for people who don't necessarily get what this means, whiskey distilled from a rye mash, it just makes it overly complicated, I think. I think the TTB has created so many different categories, some of which are unnecessary, that it gets complicated for the average consumer. Now, that said, I do appreciate that it forces people to tell you exactly what's in the bottle, right? I like that, you know, they had to say this is finished in Limousine oak barrels, whiskey distilled from rye mash, barrel aged with French oak states. Like, they got to say that. But if you're looking at this, the average consumer is going to look at that and it's not going to mean much to them. I think the most important thing is you should be able to just say this is a rye whiskey. You don't have to say Limousine Rye, finished in blah, blah, blah. You can make it a little bit more simple. And then for the nerds who want that shit, still put that shit on the bottle. Don't get me wrong. Keep all this shit on the bottle. Just let people put rye whiskey in big fucking bold type, right? Right on the fucking front. Because I don't think the new barrel aspect makes a difference. And I think that will help with the marketing. I mean, they're already kind of doing it already. So really, you're not actually changing. You're not really helping that much. You're just making people jump through hoops with how they label their bottles. And look, I'm a socialist, so you're not going to hear me say this very often, but it's bureaucratic overreach, in my opinion. And honestly, the TTB doesn't even do that good a job of enforcing the rules, so why bother? Yeah. As of May 4th, it just has to be on the bottle. Oh, most of the info for the stat whores will be on the back of the bottle. I support that. I think, yeah, just put Limousine Rye whiskey on the front. Give us the rest of the information. I'm not saying hide it. I'm not saying take it off the bottle. Give us the information. But for marketing purposes, just put Limousine Rye whiskey. Boom. All you need to do. But that's my opinion. People can disagree with me. Patrick Fulmer saying let's not fall into Canadian type rules. They don't even have to have rye in it. Yes, I agree with you on that. No doubt about that. The mash bill should be 51% rye. I don't disagree. That shouldn't change. However, I am less married to the new barrel or used barrel debate, or small barrel, big barrel. Let them use whatever fucking barrel they care to. I got no problem with it. You know, I mean, I think if they're using, I think we've come to a weird place with the labeling where we've kind of reached a compromise that works, where you can put rye whiskey on the label, but then you have to say what it's finished in. And we've come to this weird compromise, not because anyone tried to make a comprehensive rule about whiskey, but because the TTB was a bunch of lazy shits, and they just said, all right, make it a whiskey specialty and have them put it on the label. It works. Is it the best system that we could have? I don't think so. Personally, I think we could be more like Scotch and Irish whiskey. I mean, make sure that the way it's distilled and the way the amount of grain in the bottle or in the mash, those are the deciding factors on what you can call your whiskey. So in Ireland and Scotland, grain whiskey is not malt, and it's unmalted grains, call them distilled, or pots, you know, single pot still's different, single malt's different, blah, blah, blah. Why? Let's have a system like that. And then people can finish their stuff in whatever barrels they want. The thing is, they're still going to put what they're finishing it on, because if they're finishing in rum, they're going to want to tell people it's rum. If they're finishing in sherry, if they're finishing in port, they're going to want to tell people that they finished it in that. And then for the people who want to use new barrels or want to use first fill barrels, whatever they want to do, they can just keep doing that. I mean, and then you don't have to put it on the label. Now, again, to reiterate, don't change that for bourbon. I think new barrels for bourbon is where it's at. Just keep it exactly how it is. For rye, switch it up. That's my opinion. Feel free to argue about it in the comments. Okay, we took a long time on that Limousine Ride. I went off on a big tangent. So let's hurry up and get through this. What's next? What are we on? We're on number 5. All right, we're getting into the top 5, you guys. Top 5. All right, coming in at number 5, Lot 40. Specifically, Lot 40, the 2012 release. I unfortunately don't actually have the 2012 release here. Pretty sure I do have. Yep, I've got the regular one. Some people really like the regular more than the 2012. I dig the 2012. Yeah, this smells fantastic. This is great. The 2012, that malted rye gives it a funkier, spicier bristle that I adore. Now, I've heard the cask strength is even better. It's supposedly blows the regular releases out of the water, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did. But for my money, that extra little pop that you get from that malted rye really makes for a better rye. Now, that said, I've got another malted rye on here. It's actually, Sir Tannen. So with the 2012, they actually, it's what is it, 5% malted rye, and the rest is regular rye, I think is the difference. It's some amount, they added some amount of malted rye as compared to the later one. Yeah, I have had the Ranger Creek. It was a while ago though, so I didn't feel comfortable putting it on the list, unfortunately. So we'd have to try that again. Yeah. So the new version made without malted rye, it's a little less funky. It's a little less of that spicy bristle. So that's why I prefer the 2012. But if you like a smoother rye experience with a little less of that kind of vegetal funk, you may like the modern iteration better. Unfortunately, the old man has my 2012 version. He probably drank it up already. Well, actually, it's not mine. I think I gave it to him for his birthday. So yeah, he probably drank that up already. You know, I think this is the only Canadian whiskey we have on the show tonight. So yeah. Unfortunately, like I say, I don't get a lot of the good Canadian stuff. All right. Number 4, though. Actually, it's funny. Nathan Clark's saying that, they have some finishing in an Austin East Ciders barrel. That sounds really good. And there may be a Crowded Barrel Alliance release. Actually, I could go for that. That sounds pretty good. What is it? Is it the Rimfire? Is that the one? Is that what they call it? Or the 22 or something? Something like that. I thought that was them. If I'm wrong, then ignore me. My hair's getting all messed up. All right. Okay, so now we're getting into the interesting stuff. Speaking of Texas whiskey, Tawakaro. This is the Tawakaro Texas Rye Malt Whiskey. Obviously, malt whiskey in the United States is a weird one. For example, Old Potrero has a straight rye whiskey that is labeled as single malt. This does, in fact, have malt in it. It is malted rye. Yeah. So you can malt rye and call it single malt, but that's just because single malt doesn't mean anything in this country. So yeah, Tawakaro. This is one I had when I was down in Texas. And actually, Matt from Whiskey Crusaders sent me a wee baby sample. So I'm not going to drink it on stream because I want to save this. I only have a little itty bitty bit, and it's fantastic. This is the cast strength version. I don't actually know if they make a non-cast strength version. But basically, the reason this is as high as it is because everything that Dad's Hat does well, and I like about Dad's Hat, Tawakero does better. It's fantastic. It's spicy, it's chocolatey, it's got a bunch of wood influence. I mean, it's very much the same as the Dad's Hat rye whiskey, but dialed up because it's cast strength. I mean, it's chocolatey, it's nice, it's beautiful. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. This one was not one I expected to love as much as I did either. I think the Tawakero guys showed up at the La Quinta the night before the ball, and they showed up with a bottle or two, and we were just running around giving it to people. And then I think they were at the ball the next day too. And I was like, oh, this is weird. This is funky. This is odd. And then when I was doing this list, I was like, hey, I have a sample. I'm going to give this a try. It's great. It's great. If you're in the Texas area, go pay them a visit. Give them some love. It's good stuff. It's just good stuff. Nathan Clark is saying, oh, Rimfire is the smoked single malt. 44 is the rye. 36 is the bourbon. Okay. Yeah. Emily James is saying, I understand about bourbon, but I love a finish and agree about rye. You know, finished bourbon I think is fine, but keep the current rules. Make them say bourbon finished in XYZ or whatever. You know, I think bourbon is so associated with new barrels. Just keep it how it is. For me, for my mind. I don't think rye needs it. But anyway, don't get me started on that shit again. I'm just going to start cussing out the TTB, and then they're going to come and find me. All right. Number 3 is actually a local guy. This is Twisted Path. This is their rye whiskey. This is a single barrel. They did. I didn't get to try this. Well, no, I did get to try this year's. I take that back. I did get to try this year's. This is a local one here in Milwaukee. So very small distribution. They sell out within 6 hours. Like every year they release this. You have to go to the distillery to get it. So I'm sorry, you guys outside of Wisconsin aren't going to see it for a while until they decide to start pumping out some more. But oh my God, this is so good. Oh man, yeah, hazmat proof. It is. The one that came out this year was 140.6, 140.2. Yeah. So they did a bottled and bond, a single barrel bottled and bond, and then they did a single barrel cast strength. Last year's single barrel cast strength was awesome. It's awesome. Unfortunately, that's another one my dad drank up. He drank all of it, so I don't have any to drink right now and tell you about. But again, if you like a craft rye that is extremely punchy, is extremely peppery, is extremely spicy, take the skin off the roof of your mouth style rye. That is for you. It's exactly what I want in a rye. And honestly, it could have been number 1. Numbers 3 through 1, 3, 2, and 1, kind of interchangeable. They really could have gone either way. So it's a little bit arbitrary where I put them. So Dan K is on the Old Forester Kentucky Straight Rye. Yeah, 100 proof. Yeah. Everybody loves that stuff. That was absolutely an honorable mention. It's not my favorite rye. It's a great rye. I like it a lot. Didn't crack the top 10 though. So yeah. But if you haven't watched that video, go check it out. It's one more rye that Erica kind of likes, which you know is rare if you watch this show. All right, number two. I hinted at this earlier, so people might be able to guess what's coming. But Balcones. Balcones, Texas Rye Cast Strength. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you've had this, you know what I'm talking about. If you've had this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Patrick, oh, I have no idea where the old man is. I have no idea what's up with him. But hopefully he'll actually show up for one of these sooner rather than later. But let's talk about Balcones Rye. I don't have any. I had a very small sample given to me by the Galladays. Wheel says he's had the normal. The normal is good. The cast strength is amazing. This is what I mean. This is the spicy Mexican chocolate. This is it doesn't taste like any other rye. It really doesn't. It doesn't have pickle. It doesn't have black licorice. It is a big, oaky, chocolatey. I mean, it's peppery, but it's not peppery. It's not black pepper or white pepper like a lot of ryes are. It's like a jalapeno stuffed into a chocolate bar, wrapped around one of those Mexican lollipops, but also tastes like sweet corn somehow. It's not made with corn. It's not made with corn at all, but it still tastes like some sort of sweet, wonderful vegetable. It is so good. It is so good. It's just amazing. It's not like any other rye on this list. And it kind of breaks the mold of what I usually like in a rye, but nonetheless, it's just fantastic. So if you can find it, I think it was a limited release at the distillery. I don't know if they're planning to do another one. God, I hope they do. Balcones was actually supposed to be coming up to Wisconsin as of today. I don't know if they actually made it because of all the COVID bullshit, but yeah. If you want a high proof rye that doesn't taste like a rye, Balcones is for you. All right, and number one, if you watch the show, you probably know what's coming because this is probably always my number one. But to be fair, Balcones may have an edge on this one. It's really, ooh, went down the wrong pipe. It's really hard for me to make a decision between this one and the Balcones. And actually, Twisted Path and Tawakero too, but it's Driftless Glen. It's Driftless Glen Young Rye Whiskey. Yeah. This is one of my first loves. Nathan Clark was saying it was distillery only and it's annual. Nice. That's good to hear. Glad they put out some more. Yeah, Vito was saying prestige. I was originally going to make a joke that it was going to be Fleischmann's because I do have a big bottle of Fleischmann's rye here, the big plastic fella. But no, I played it straight. So yeah, this was actually one of the first bottles I really fell in love with. This is a year old. 60.8% on this particular bottle. There is variation because it's single barrel cast strength stuff. I believe it's single barrel. Yeah, single barrel cast strength. It is fantastic. And actually, I'm always going to say this. I think it's better than their older stuff. I wish they just kept making this because their older stuff is very good. It's lovely. I'm not saying it's bad. Oh, but you just can't beat this. I usually divide my ryes into vegetal ryes, stone fruit ryes, spicy ryes. That's kind of how I think of them, right? So usually vegetal kind of plays nicely with stone fruit. Stone fruit can play nice with spice. But this brings all three together in one beautiful package. It's stone fruity. It's a little tiny bit vanilla-y, just on the finish. You know, you can taste a tiny bit of wood influence, but for the most part, it's that big, beautiful dill, anise, pepper. Oh my God. I love this stuff with a passion. I'm going to have to kill this bottle though. This one has been sitting for a minute and it's getting lower. Unfortunately, since they no longer make this, I had to stock up. I've got a few more bottles hanging out. Yeah, so these are, again, I don't know if we've talked about Driftless a lot. If you don't know it, this is over in Baraboo, Wisconsin, where my grandma is from. So, yeah, love them, love their stuff. It's pretty fantastic. So, that's my number 10. That's my best rye. Like I say, my rye choices have been getting mixed up recently, though. Yeah, I've been finding some weird, lovely ryes, and I'm very excited to find some more. I'm excited. I do need to try some Pinhook. I think I've tried the younger Pinhook. I thought it was okay, but I want to get into some of that, see what's going on there. So, yeah. And that Old Riff, I really want to try that Old Riff. I'm definitely going to drive down to Chicago and hunt down a bottle of that once this pandemic's over, of course. Patty is saying they should have kept that in the permanent lineup. Yeah, they should have. Honestly, if you are a Wisconsin distiller right now, put out a young rye. Wisconsin is the perfect environment for aging a young, grain-forward rye. I'm surprised more people aren't doing it. I think rye whiskey is the future for Wisconsin. So, yeah. Anyway, are there any I missed? Do you think there's anything that ought to be in the top 10 that wasn't? Do you think anything was in the top 10 that shouldn't have been? And yeah, any other comments you want to leave? I will happily respond to them. And I think we are going to call it a night. We're coming up on an hour. Make sure to tune in to Cast Strength After Dark, coming on just after this stream. Nathan Clark, High West Double Rye. Yes, Double Rye is great. I didn't want to do Double Rye because I already included Midwinter, and I'm trying not to double up on distilleries. So yes, no doubt that Double Rye is great. Oh, hey, Mark Townsend just hopped in. Yeah, and Wheels is saying he's got 6 ryes coming up on the vault. Oh, okay, from the Midwest. Nice. Very cool. Jason Unsworth, yes, we did do Midwinters. That was the only High West. I was trying to keep it to 1 bottle from a distillery. So Midwinters Act 7 was my choice for that. Otherwise, yeah, we could have talked some more Midwinter. Oh, nice. Mark Townsend just got 1 ton of rye in to mess with. So, all right, I'm gonna call it a night. I just said I was gonna call it a night, but then I didn't because I got to talking. And you guys, make sure to hit the like button on your way out. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We recently broke 800, so that's 798 more people than I ever expected to watch this channel. And yes, go check out Cast Strength After Dark. I will probably be making an appearance. So everyone out there, make sure. Oh, hold on. I gotta do the traditional thing. Technically, this isn't a rye, but it's half rye. So until next time, all you wonderful people out there, stay rotten.